angels willing to hold us in their arms. When our worth was stone, our ashes, and we both passed on. Let forever mean forever and carry on.
Good afternoon. Wow, well, that was one hell of a weekend. I actually spent much of the weekend binge watching the latest season of 13 Reasons Why. I don't watch much TV. I tell you guys that all the time. We've got like 3 TV shows that we'll watch. 13 Reasons Why, God Friended Me, which I can't wait till the new season for that starts up, and then Stranger Things. Those are the shows that we'll watch. But that's pretty much it, you know. I'll tell you what, it's a mind bender. And I'm speaking to 13 Reasons Why. Really good. I've got one more episode to go. I'll probably watch it after the news show today, and then I'll be all caught up with that. But it's definitely an interesting show and interesting season, to be honest. Trying to think. Got several things to kind of talk to you about. I did get a video shot this weekend on the, it's a short review and disassembly and maintenance on a SOG Flash 2, but I don't really like how it turned out so much. So I'm going to shoot it again, except I'm going to use the camera on my phone instead of the Nikon, because the camera on my phone, I can put it on a different, on a different type of tripod that I can literally have it right in front of me, so I can be looking at the screen while I'm shooting the video. That way I can get really good, nice close-up shots for you of some of the things I'm talking about, because that's my main intent behind the video. Because I've seen in tons of forums and tons of videos where people have taken them apart and had a hell of a time getting the spring for the spring-assisted blade, getting that spring in the right place without everything just kind of falling out of place and all that good stuff. But I've got a super easy way of doing it, and so I want to be able to make sure to get a real good close-up of me doing that so folks can see just how it is that I have learned to do it. So I will be reshooting that. I'm sure to be this week, because it doesn't take that long. So I'm sure probably even tomorrow I'll probably get that done. So, but I'll tell you, it's, just kind of one of those things. I've stayed largely away from the news this past weekend. I've been kind of trying to do that. Been trying to take the weekends off, and I mean like off. But it is what it is. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Anyway, trying to think. I do got several things to talk to you about, and let me go ahead and run through the normal stuff, and then we'll go from there. We actually got censored, which is kind of crazy, so I will be going over that, explaining it to you. But yes, censorship has hit us, and it's kind of crazy, to tell you the truth. It really is kind of crazy. Let me run through the normal stuff, and then we'll get to that. So Amazon affiliate, we are up to $14.94. And thank you. Thank you. It's kind of a short month when it comes to the affiliate thing, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm just glad we made it over the $10 mark, because that's where they actually pay out at. Otherwise, they roll it over until the following month. But so, not a big deal. We've got, I think it's 41 something coming this month, and then next month it'll be the 81, I believe it is, or 87 something will be next month. So I have a good feeling, I've got a sneaky suspicion that I'm going to actually be able to get the smartwatch real quick. Probably, I'm going to guess within a week or two, probably less than 2, maybe a little over a week. So if I can, then that will leave next month's Amazon affiliate open and so I'll be working on what direction we want to go then. But hopefully everything works out fine, and I'll be able to get the tactical pants. By the way, is still on, so that's as soon as we get our Amazon affiliate money, that will get ordered. So it's not like I forgot or I'm overlooking or anything like that. I really want to get this watch and get it set up and get you guys, acclimated with the different ideas that I come up with for it when it comes to prepping and whatnot. I think it's going to be a really handy device. The biggest thing is being able to keep my phone in my backpack, for instance, and being able to just use the watch to do some very necessary functions. So, there's a lot of other things than EMP when it comes to SHTF, and I'm actually going to be talking about some of that today. But there's a lot of other things than an EMP. So, and there are a lot more things that you can use one of those devices for than make phone calls. Okay, so my phone will play a very important role post SHTF. Very important role. Even if the cell towers are down, doesn't matter. There are a lot of uses that I have for it, and that watch will extend that, be able to allow me to not have to pull anything out and look at it or anything like that. I can leave it back in the backpack, for instance, and just go from my watch. So, and I'll show you all that. I've came up with a bunch of good ideas. So anyway, looking at $14.94 this month, and I appreciate it. We've got more coming in, by the way. There were more things ordered that I guess haven't shipped out yet, so that will go up. So anyway, like I said, thank you very much. For those that don't know, obviously, we're an Amazon affiliate. There's a link in the description of the video as well as on our homepage right here. And if you click that link when you go to Amazon to do your shopping, it doesn't cost you anything more, and it goes a little bit our way. So, and all those little bits add up. It's quite amazing, to be honest. We also have an Amazon store. Links in the description and on the home page right there. So that's basically a page on Amazon to where we've got a bunch of different categories set up, bunch of different items in those categories, and it works the same way. If you purchase an item out of one of those categories, then we'll get a little bit for the sale, and it doesn't cost you anything more. So we do have one other way if folks want to help out, and that is our PayPal donation link. You can either go to thewatchmannews.com/donate, or you can go to the watchmannews.com homepage, and right there is a donate link. So you click that. That will take you to our PayPal donation page. You don't have to have PayPal. You can do it as a guest just with a debit or a credit card. Let's see. Oh, I always remind everybody, it does say Transforming Disabilities up top. That is us. It will also say Purpose the Watchman News donation. That way you know you're in the right place. So never required, but always appreciated. Always appreciated. Everything goes towards prepping, and that's why I'm completely transparent. I want you guys to understand what it is that we're doing with these funds, okay? If this works out to where I can get the smartwatch that's not even anything related to, well, it is related to what I do, but I mean not related to the show in any way. So, and that's what I was hoping for, because I can see a lot of people might argue just how much use could you have, but wait until I get it and show you. You'll be quite surprised. Anyway, like I said, never required, but always appreciated. Let me get that closed here and have me a sip of coffee. And this is it. This is where we got nailed. I took a screenshot of it, so I had it. And so it says it says my post, but it was on the Watchman News Facebook page. I'm the one that posted it, however. It says my post went against community standards on nudity or sexual activity. Okay? Well, that means I'm a bad guy, right? Let me zoom this in a little bit so you can see the link good. Now, I'm sure you can see on your screen there that as is an RT link, RT News. And it is about and just like what the link says there, hunt film censorship violence, okay? This is the article that they're talking about. That's a screenshot of the article. That is the article that they're talking about. And I could see if they wanted to give me a strike against violence, for violence, because this movie's got a lot of violence. There was a link to a trailer in this article that, of course, had violence. I could understand that. In fact, I could understand it and not be able to argue it. So when I got this, and I think I know why I got it, but when I got this and seen that it was on nudity or sexual activity, my mouth was agape. I was just like, so I put in for a manual review, right? Supposedly, I guess the AI and algorithms are what caught it the first time around, and when you put in a manual review, then an actual human being looks it over. So I put in a manual review. Before the night was up, I got the results of that manual review, and I had lost it. They kept the they kept the strike. I'm calling it a strike. They kept the strike, even though supposedly a human being had went over it. I don't get it. Like I said, if they wanted to claim that it was for violence or something like that, I couldn't argue that. Even though we just shared a news article. But I think what did it is this whatever device in this woman's mouth. I think they thought maybe it was some type of BDSM toy or something, and it probably is. But that was not the situation of the woman in the image. So, I'm assuming that she was one of the hunted. So, anyway, it's just a screen grab from the movie, and that's quite crazy. That's quite crazy. And then you pull back away from it all, and I know what this is about, right? We all know what this is about. So, I just figured I would let you guys know that it has started, but I've even got one more crazier part to all of this that you're probably not going to believe. So Saturday, Jen and I and our friend Vi are sitting here and we're talking. And the subject come up about people getting put in, well, as we know, Facebook jail, for instance. And I had said I'd never been put in Facebook jail, but I don't share, untrue information, and I don't share hate, right? So, I had specifically said that. And I also talked about how I, so far, knock on wood, don't have any guideline strikes on YouTube. So, no strikes on YouTube, had no strikes on Facebook, and I'll be damned if the words didn't come out of my mouth and I looked down at my screen and I had a prompt about this violation on Facebook, this one right here. I had a prompt right then and there. Now, I know that some things can be coincidental, but really, I find that very interesting. I find that very, very interesting. So, it's happening. It's happening now to even us. So, and I figured it would hold off a little while because we're small. So, our voice isn't that loud. It isn't that far out there. So, it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing you can do. So, we'll just keep doing what it is that we do. And like I've told you guys, it's only a matter of time. They're going to shut us up. They have an agenda, and they're damn well going to see that agenda through, whether we like it or not. But the only way they're going to be able to finish their agenda is by silencing us. And I don't mean just the Watchman News. I mean all of us. And they're working on it. Believe me, they're working on it. They're working so hard from every direction, it's unreal. And I'm sitting back and watching it. You know, I'd warned, for instance, about Trump and about him taking the guns. And I'm still warning about it, and people still don't believe it, even though he's encouraged the passing of red flag laws and he's encouraged the bump stock ban. And we haven't even seen the beginning of it yet. I'm telling you. And I know a lot of people think I'm nuts when I say that. Although, all they got to do is open their eyes at what has already happened. We had 8 years of the Obama administration, not one gun law. Not one gun law. And all of a sudden Trump gets in office and they start rolling through. And when I say rolling through, I mean get signed off on. Folks, it's a game. It's a game. The way they got away with deporting all of those people, the way they got away with all of the drone killings, okay, and the killing of innocent civilians overseas, the way they got away with it with the last administration was because the people were brainwashed into believing Obama wouldn't do that, Obama didn't do that. Obama's a Democrat. He's blue. He wouldn't do that. Blue don't do that. Yeah, that is how retarded it is. And the same thing is happening right now with Red Team. The same thing. No different. People will argue you to death that Trump had nothing to do with the red flag laws. I heard him say the words myself. Many of you have too. Take the guns first, due process later. Came out of his own mouth. That's not the Washington Post or the New York Times or CNN spinning it and twisting it and making it into something totally different out of context that it wasn't. That is exactly what Trump said. That is exactly what Trump meant. And that is exactly what he did. But that was the states that did that. Uh-huh. So far. Whose idea was it again? Right. It's crazy. And people are going to deny what's coming all the way up to the time it comes, all the way through it, and they'll deny it afterwards. Why? Because they're brainwashed. Period. I don't know what else to say. But I do have a link I'm setting on right here that should damn well be scary. Trump administration is considering using Amazon Echo and Apple Watch to determine if citizens should own a gun. So much for him backing away from the last talk about more gun law, right? Now they're talking about supercharging the agenda. You know, and I got to thinking about that a while ago, or earlier today. And, you know, the common argument you hear is, oh, well, you know, yeah, the road leads to the same place. It's just you get there faster with the Democrats, you know? You get there faster with the Democrats. You know how many times I've heard this? Well, tell me this. What was the chances of Hillary getting a single damn gun law put on the books? Probably about the same as Obama getting away with it, which is why it didn't happen. But now we've got Trump, the savior, the chosen one, right? The chosen one. Hey, I'm telling you, I couldn't count the amount of people that I'd seen after he got elected talking about how he was sent from God. He's sent from God, right? Now he calls himself the chosen one. And I know that's a bit out of context, but you don't think he thinks that way? You're talking about an egomaniac like none you've ever seen. You damn well bet he thinks that way. So tell me, how is it that Democrats would get us down that road further and faster when it's the Republicans that are going to take the guns? It's right there in front of you. All you have to do is want to see it, which is the big problem. That is the whole problem. You know, I've called out time and time and time the out of my cold dead hands crowd because they're awful damn silent right now. Time to worry. It's time to get prepared. If you can see these things that I'm talking about, if you can discern what is really going on, you better be getting prepared. Because it's on our doorstep. It truly, truly is. And I think it's going to be so many things that hit at one time. The unprepared don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. It's going to get crazy, and it's going to happen quick. They're pushing this stuff quick. Really, really quick. For whatever reason, and all I can do is assume, but whatever reason, they're making the big push because they're running out of time. Now, why is it they're running out of time? I've got speculation on that. I do believe that it has to do with pole shift, but that's all I've got. I can't, tell you that there's anything else, or anything that I can show you to prove to you that that is the reason why. But I can prove to you that they are making a big push right now. And that's something that we all should be able to see. Look at what they're doing on social media to alternative news. Alternative voices at all. And it's not just conservatives. I guarantee you it is not just conservatives. It seems like it's more conservatives, and the reason why is, to be honest, I think there's more conservative-minded people, to be honest. The other reason why is you'll notice a difference between conservatives and liberals. Liberals actually get off their asses and go out there and protest, and they'll get in the streets, and they'll get in people's faces. Conservatives, not so much. Not so much. So I think that's why you hear more alternative conservative voices on the air, because that is what they're going to put into it. That is, that's as far as they're going to go. Okay? And that's what I'm seeing right now. And it's scary. It scares the hell out of me. Because the very people that we need to be getting up off their asses and into those streets and making things change are the ones leaning to the right. You don't want what's leaning to the left. Absolutely not. Don't get me wrong. I don't choose either side. They're about equal. When it comes to good ideas, bad ideas, they're about equal. Right? The left gets it on some matters and the right gets it on other matters. Neither one of them, by the way, are working for you. Not even close. But that's why they're split the way that they are. Because they can get one side to cheer on the loss of the other side each time. And that's how they do it. That's how they whittle your rights away. They seesaw them away. Oh, well, red team is in control now, so look out, left team. You're going to lose your welfare. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. Next up, blue team. Huh? Look out, red team. Blue team's in charge. You're going to lose your guns. Right? And they just work it back and forth. It's why I don't cheer for a team, folks. It's a game. It's an illusion. Unbelievable. But this is no joke. And I had somebody on Facebook try calling this out as being BS. It's not. It's not. The Trump administration is considering a proposal that would use Google, Amazon, and Apple to collect data on its users who exhibit characteristics of mental illness that could lead to violent behavior, the Washington Post reported Thursday. Now, you know he's been talking about the whole mental illness route, right? Let me remind you at this time that the way that Hitler got away with much of what he did was declaring people mentally ill. That's a part they don't really focus on much in history. Back a little while ago, I can remember reading the numbers, the statistics, that around 70% of the people were on some type of medication, whether it be for anxiety, depression. It was actually a little over 70%. Now, Obamacare gives the government unbelievable control over anybody and everybody that are declared mentally ill. And that ranges from somebody that's a little depressed to autism to Down syndrome, you name it. Covers it all. So if they're able to get legislation passed that allows them to confiscate the firearms from those who are mentally ill, or hey, what about the firearms in homes of people that are mentally ill? You mean like having a child that's getting treated for depression and then you losing your firearms because they live under the same roof? You don't think that's going to happen? What the hell do you think just happened? The guy with the meme, right? $15,000 fine or whatever it is. The dude with the meme. And guess who lost their guns? Not him. They weren't his guns. They were his dad's. His dad lost his guns over a meme. Don't kid yourself. It's happening. It is absolutely happening. But this scares the holy, I gotta say it, fuck out of me. Pardon the language. And if this doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. Next paragraph, please. The proposal is a part of an initiative to create a Health Advanced Research Projects Agency. HARPA. 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 I kid you not. HARPA. Which would be located inside the Health and Human Services Department, the report notes, citing sources inside the administration. The new agency would have a separate budget and the president would be responsible for appointing its director. Oh, but it gets better. HARPA, why does that ring a bell? Well, let me tell you. HARPA would take after Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, which serves as the research arm for the Pentagon. The idea was first crafted in 2017, but has since gotten a renewed push after mass shootings killed 31 people in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio in August 2017. Can anybody remind me who was president in 2017? The Suzanne Wright Foundation approached the president recently and proposed the agency included a project called Stopping Aberrant Fatal Events by helping overcome mental extremes, or Safe Home. You know, let's just make it sound like Safe Cities. HARPA would develop breakthrough technologies with a high specificity. I know I can say that right. Specificity, you say it, there's the spelling, and sensitivity for early diagnosis of neuropsychiatric violence. Early diagnosis of neuropsychiatric violence. Now do you think the whole thought crimes thing is a joke? If you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, get ready. Don't let these assholes in suits and ties fool you. They are not on your side. I don't care what kind of pep talks they give. HARPA. HARPA. Unbelievable. Jade Helm, anybody? We better figure out, as a nation, as we the people, the true government. We are the true government. We need to figure out what direction we want our country to go. And stop expecting these egomaniacs in suits and ties to be our savior. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And every time we push off the inevitable because it's easier, our guy's in this time. He's going to fix it. We're allowing them to push further and further and further the agenda that has been set out and put forth and worked on for many, many, many decades. We as a society need to talk. Let me take a peek, see at my phone here. Okay, let me go ahead and read the headlines and we'll go from there. Sip of coffee real quick. Apple and Samsung sued over cancer risk from cell phone radiation. Trump administration is... that's what I just got done talking about. Beijing says U.S. threats attempt to intimidate China to have no effect amid tariff row escalation. These are from this morning. I'm sorry. Iran warns Israel of consequences after attacks in Syria and Lebanon. And this is massively ramping up, too. We need to really keep an eye on the Iran situation. Trump says U.S. companies should leave China in case of failure to reach trade deal. Israel releases video claiming to show Iranians prepping killer drone. Yeah, because, they're not allowed to have, they're not allowed to have weapons or anything. Just like you're not. Imagine that. Well, you won't be. Israel's last struggles. Netanyahu vigorously battles Iranian menace, threatens entire states. They've got it all wrong. Trump says entire G7 laughing at U.S. is fake news. I'm pretty sure that much of the world is laughing at us there, hair guy. Israel strikes Palestinian group in Lebanon after punishing Hamas for Gaza rocket fire. Gold jumps to 6+ year high. Asian markets slide on Trump's trade war carnage fears. U.S.-China trade talks to restart soon. Beijing wants both back at negotiating table, says Trump. Says Trump, mind you. Iran's Zarif visit to G7 was no surprise, but it was too soon, says Trump. Beijing vows to take more steps to protect its interests if Trump raises tariffs on China. You see how China says one thing and Trump says that China's saying something else? Imagine that. Iran seeks to revive oil pipeline across Iraq to Syria amid tensions in Hormuz Strait, says the media. A U.S. recession, the biggest concern amid Washington-Beijing trade conflict, warns Standard Chartered. Let's see. Well-equipped protesters locked in ferocious street battle with Hong Kong police. I actually had to laugh a little bit. Over the weekend, Luke Radowski put out a video showing some clips from Hong Kong and how violent the protests are getting right amid him raising money to go there. I'll tell you what, I got to hand it to that guy. He has got balls of steel, without a doubt. From my knowledge, he's going. He's going to go and he's going to cover it. I wish him the best of luck. It is getting nasty there. Iran sends 2 warships to Gulf of Aden to escort commercial vessels. Trump would certainly invite Putin to next G7 summit. New anti-Russia sanctions lack previous vigor as U.S. is too busy with China. U.S. close to a compromise with France over its unfair digital tax, Trump says. Fire breaks out at iconic Moscow convent near the Kremlin. I watched a little bit of the live video of that earlier, so really sad. Really, truly is. Let's see. Trump says he would talk to Iran under the right circumstances, which means bowing to the U.S. Well, yeah, pretty much. I don't see that happening. This was surprising. U.S. judge rules medical company Johnson & Johnson helped fuel the Oklahoma opioid crisis. And I think I put out another headline on that. I think it was $572 million, if I'm not mistaken, that was awarded. Give me a second, I'll look. Exclusive U.S. officials fear ransomware attack. Hang on. When I share from certain sources, it doesn't put the headline there, too. Fear ransomware attack against 2020 election. Okay. Russian nuclear accident linked to weapons built after the U.S. withdrawal from the ABM treaty. So, it's been pretty well proven that the missile technology we've been tested had been worked on for quite some time, even though there was a treaty in place saying that we couldn't do that. But from all the evidence, it appears the missiles that Russia's working on have not. That they're rather fresh technology, meaning that they just started working with it. Interesting stuff. Here we go. Oklahoma judge rules against drug maker, orders $572 million payment. Now keep an eye on this, because remember how it worked with the with Monsanto or whatever. They just kept whittling it down and whittling it down. They went from one judge to another judge to another judge, and I don't even know how small of an amount that it's gotten down to by now. But keep an eye on this. It's probably going to have the same thing happen. Watch massive Madrid hailstorm flood city streets and wash away cars. Again, crazy storms, and it's going to get worse, much worse. And lastly here, Pentagon claims China is bullying of Vietnam and violating rules-based international order. I'm telling you, do what you can. Do what you can. Absolutely insane. And if we ignore what's going on here domestically in the United States, we're going to be in deep trouble quick. I can't even believe how out in the open and in our face they are being. HARPA? Really? Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Anyway, let me go ahead and wrap up the monologue and we'll go from there. For those here for the live show, we'll be live till 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't go anywhere. Don't do anything. For those here for just the monologue, or if you're watching the recording later on, thank you very much as always. God bless you. We love you, and be one with your spirit.